visuals, welcome on the channel, welcome back to Superhero Wednesday, where today we're going to take a little look back down memory lane. Right, you've probably seen the thumbnail, a stupid old face of me giving it, you know, something mental and weird because I'm a fucking idiot. But we're going to talk about the Amazing Spider-Man films, the ones with Andrew Garfield, the Englishman himself, playing a school American kid who slings webs from his little web shooters. Before we get started, I have done comments before about my favourites. Peter Parker's my favourite Spider-Man's, you know, live action version. Before we go any further, Tom Holland is still, without a shadow of a doubt, the best Peter Parker, the best Spider-Man we've ever had in a live action. I think all of that just feels so right and just works perfectly down to a T. But do you ever go on YouTube and you just watch clips from films, whether it be a clip from the Transformers film, a bit from Goodfellas, a bit from, I don't know, Fast and Furious? I do it all the time. I started doing this weird loop, and we got to the Amazing Spider-Mans. And I started watching the clips, and these are films I've seen loads and loads of times, but I haven't seen them in a good while. I rewatched the clips, and after watching the clips for about 15-20 minutes, I thought, do you know what, fuck it, I'm going to have a little mini marathon of the Amazing Spider-Man films, because why not? And after watching them, I'm thinking to myself, I actually really love these films. These films, and Andrew Garfield and stuff, are really fucking awesome. Now, I know these films get a lot of slack. A lot of people don't like them. Critically, they weren't the greatest. Some people do really like them. And again, if you don't like these films, this video is not going to be for you. And you are not wrong. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You know what you want. You know what you don't want, blah, blah, blah. I get some of the points that people don't like, but I'm going to talk to you about why I like them and why they give me the feels and the goosebumps and the tears and the amped up moments. So yeah, if you don't like these films, yeah, let us know in the comments below as to what you don't like about them. But you're not wrong. We like what we like. Because it's spider related, I guess I better point out, as per usual, you know, he's my guy. He is the reason for all this. I am biased when it comes to Spider-Man. I will 100% admit this. Yes, the Amazing Spider-Man films. When I went to go, I'm pretty sure it's 6.9 out of 10 for the first film on IMDb and something like 70% Rotten Tomatoes. But the second one was a lot less liked. I think it was like 5.5 or something out of IMDb and something like 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. So a lot of people. There was one criticism that a mate made when I went to the cinema to watch it, which I didn't think is a criticism I liked. He said the second Amazing Spider-Man was basically just a Peter Parker film, and I thought, well, that's fine with me because I'm a massive fan of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, the one and the same. I will watch a film purely about Peter Parker. That's why I love Marvel Comics. It's the whole motto about what's behind the mask. In fact, there's a documentary on Disney Plus of Behind the Mask you can go watch. And I agree with it. I will watch the Peter Parker story, the human side, the regular side of him that I can relate to. So as a criticism for him, fair enough. If he didn't dig it and he wanted to see the action of the spider, yeah, fair enough. Sorry that it fell through for you. But for me, that's a cool point. These films, okay, these films felt extremely, well, feel to me, extremely spidery, comic booky, if that makes sense. The battle scenes, the sequences when he's weaving around. Remember the little bit in the first one where he's fighting against the lizard in the school, and there's a bit where he's webbing him up and he's crawling. It makes like a little crawls. Little details like that for me just got me really amped and pumped. I just thought, because the comic book initially, because obviously they've got a lot more serious and darker and nitty gritty towards the future, a little bit more anyway. But at the time when they were doing this, they felt very animated and over the top and comic booky. But I like it. It kind of feel like, especially with the way how the costume look and the villains look in this. We'll get to the villains in a sec. It felt like a comic book was just being played out live action, and I really dig that. The fight sequence, like we'll talk about Jamie Foxx's Electro. I absolutely fucking love not only him as Electro, but the way they portrayed Electro in this. Some people I've seen say it's goofy, it's silly, it's dumb, the music's horrible, but I think the music is fucking so spot on and phenomenal with him. It's like an electric beat that only he feels, because every time when he comes in, that's when they play it, and it's the Spider-Man. And I'm just like, this is fucking awesome. When Spider-Man's interacting with him at the big stairs in New York City, I actually have been past them, but I can't remember what they're called. And he's doing that fight scene, and we've got all the comedic aspect of Spider-Man and Electro, you know, he's trying to come to terms with it, and he's like, okay, I'll come over, and then he gets shot, and it all kicks off, and then the slow-mo they use in these films is, oh my fucking god, it's beautiful. The people are running up the stairs, the electricity's going to go up the pipe spider, he's got his, one of his web shooters is fucked, but he manages to save them all. The way that it's done in slow-mo, and how how bright and vibrant and beautiful it looks. And then Jamie Foxx, like I said, hearing the music, the final scene where it's dude, and it comes through and he's chucking the webs and we see like a fast-paced bit and then it will slow back down and we'll go back to a fast pace and the camera's just zooming out and slowing down as the action's going along. It all just feels so fucking awesome. Kind of what I want a comic book film to be, because I don't need always, well, if they do it, but I don't always need a grand story of fine Shakespeare. I want to see Spider-Man do some cool ass shit in slow-mo and in HD and bright colours and goofy comic book, and that's kind of what I want. Like the Transformers, a lot of people hate Transformers because the stories and that suck. I watch Transformer film because I want to see Optimus fuck up Decepticons. That's it. Jamie Foxx Electro for me, I'm so happy we're going to get him again, and I don't know how the MCU are going to spin it and Kevin Feige and stuff. I'm sure it's going to be outstanding whatever they do, because again, just me being a biased nerd and a fucking a yes man by the sounds of it, very optimistic about everything. They're going to do an amazing job, and I'll probably be here a couple of months down the right road saying I think this was the best time Jamie Foxx was Electro. But he was so cool. The music was amazing. The team up with Green Goblin, it's so fucking cool. You can just see it now, getting the goosebumps, and the Spider-Man, it's just fucking, it's fucking so amazing. It's fucking beautiful. Right, we'll talk about the Green Goblin. What's his name? Dane, whatever. The Green Goblin in this film will be, right, I get what they were going with. Usually our Green Goblin, a lot of the times, is like take the Sam Raimi trilogy. It's a guy in a mask, bit loopy with blah blah blah. This was like a disease inherited, you know, his skin's, you know, gonna go minging, normally he's gonna deform and stuff. I kind of get that they were just trying to make a guy transition into the Green Goblin sort of naturally and stuff. I don't think he was particularly portrayed badly. I just don't think he sat for me 100% amazingly on camera. I think he looked a little bit, I don't know, it looked a little bit, maybe it's because it was so used to seeing what we usually get and this was completely different. Like, it wasn't awful, it wasn't shit. There was something that didn't quite sit right. The way he was like, yeah, I don't know, it felt a bit false and a bit weird, but still, I could tolerate it. It was okay. Probably the weakest villain out of the whole lot for me. That's including Rhino. I didn't mind seeing Rhino. The brief bits we got of Rhino, I know he was a guy in a big metal suit as opposed to the classic Rhino we get, but to make it, I don't know, maybe slightly more believable, or the way they wanted to eventually tell a Sinister Six story in the Amazing Universe, it felt alright. I didn't mind it, but yeah, the Green Goblin was a little bit of hit and miss. Let's go for the Welshman. It's all gone Pete Tong. The Lizard, that was great. That was cool. I fucking love the Lizard as a villain. I love the way that he played out in the first film. His relationship with Peter studying underneath him. He's trying, you know, they have he's a baddie because he wants to regrow his limb and stuff like that. It was absolutely cool. I love the fight scenes. The final one on the tower. They're trying to. He's trying to turn everybody lizards, and eventually when he's beaten, you know, Peter waits a couple of seconds and he makes the cure, it spreads down, blah blah blah. Really, really fucking cool. It didn't look cheesy or corny or misplaced or misused. They did a better job at this than I think they did at Killer Croc and Suicide Squad. I definitely think that. But I really like the Lizard in this. Great villain. Hope to see him. Obviously, they went for like a weird flat face sort of lizard as opposed to like the purple pants, black t-shirt, white lab coat, snout sort of lizardy effect. But again, really, really fucking liked it. Thought he was played beautifully. I loved everything about it. Oh, beautiful. Emma Stone. She's fucking amazing. She's an amazing actress. And pretty much everything she's in, I love. I think she's so fucking talented. I loved her as Gwen Stacy. I thought she was a fantastic, great Gwen Stacy. And obviously the moment, oh my god, the moment, okay, so we've just beaten Electro, Green Goblin's come down, all the shenanigans happen. Obviously there's the nice little Easter egg of the time of her unfortunate death and when the clock strikes. Beautiful Easter egg. That I think every time I see that scene, I will just break into absolute tears, because we get the Green Goblin's causing all the shenanigans and the clockwork. She's eventually falls down, and then Peter sees it. And when he shoots that fucking web and the web comes down, like you see it slows down. His eyes are only looking on her. He's ready, he shoots that web and it comes down and the web's like, and it spreads out like a hand trying to grab her. Fucking, it's so beautiful. It's fucking hauntingly beautiful. Oh my god, she was an amazing Gwen Stacy. I would be more than happy if we get her in a Gwen Stacy later, or a Spider-Gwen going down. I've seen some of the concept arts as Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. More than happy for that to happen. She is so great. Yeah, and that scene's just fucking heartbreaking. It fucking kills me. And I love the way her and Peter Parker and their love story forms in this, because Peter, again, we watch the Spider-Mans, well I do anyway, for the Peter side of things as well, and I think they've got one of the best love stories, and to see the whole funeral side of the things, and when he's standing over her graves, you know, it's snowy, rainy, blah blah blah, it's just amazing, and it just gives that extra bit of layer and life to Peter Parker. And she was maybe the best performed role in these two films. Either that, or I'll get to Andrew Garfield in a sec, or maybe just a shy second. She was so good. Yeah, and I'll never forget that web shooting moment. To talk about Andrew Garfield, I don't think there's a hell of a... Like I said, people have seen these films. They've been out for a good while and that now. Andrew Garfield, I really like him as Spider-Man. Some people said they hated the weirdness, but I love the little quirky effect. Again, going back to like the second film, when she rocks up, she's trying to help Spidey stop Electro, and he's like giving it all this no, and he's kicking the floor, and go away. I love that weird quirky aspect he gives to his Spider-Man / Peter Parker. I loved his nerdy skating, you know, wearing your boxers high and your pants low, sort of scruffy, dirty teenage sort of look. I fucking think he is one of the best Peter Parkers we will ever get in the future. Obviously, I think Tom Holland will always be better. But Andrew Garfield did an amazing job. And if they said to us, we're going to do two universes, kind of like what we might get in the DCEU, where you'll have the Amazing Spider-Man universe and the Tom Holland, I would be down for that. I am really... I think if the spiders do appear in the future Spider-Man films, the MCU, whatever they're doing, I think I'll be really excited when he rocks through some sort of portal or whatever it is they're doing, and it's Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I will be so happy. I fucking loved his sort of, not rebellious, but edgy-ish, sort of nerdy-ish phases and stuff like that. And the way this particular Peter Parker was trying to, you know, hunt after the killer of Uncle Ben, and how he dealt with Gwen and Flash Thompson and his teachers, and how he acted with Harry and Electro and stuff. His version of Spidey's comedy was great. You know, the fire truck scene, the blowing the hose and stuff. He was fucking awesome. He really was fucking cool. His again, we've just spoke about it. His performance at showing Peter Parker's emotion at the end, because I remember at the end of that film where the Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker's very upset. Obviously, Gwen Stacy died, yada yada yada. But then we see that little boy stand up against Rhino, and then Peter comes in, the actual Spider-Man. Oh my god, I feel like I might cry now. It's fucking amazing. I just loved it, and I would have loved to have seen him inevitably went up against the Sinister Six. I think Andrew Garfield can carry that role without a shadow of a doubt. If they, as much as I love Tom Holland and keep going, if that never happened and they crossed Andrew Garfield over, for me personally, I wouldn't have been disappointed. I really like it, and like I said, I love the quirkiness and the weirdness, and how he embodies Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and entwines them and makes them feel like not only two different characters, but at the same time he can bring them back together, and you could show that this is a united unit between these two characters. Oh my god, he's so fucking cool. I can't even remember. I did a video ages ago who I preferred out of the... I can't remember where I placed him, but I think if I placed him third, I'm going to have to reevaluate and place him second. Even though I did like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he was alright. He is definitely the worst out of the three for me, though. 100%. And tell you what else I absolutely love about this. Just the shots. I've still got a lot of posters around the house of the Amazing Spider-Man film. The one where he's in like the shadow of the wall. The one where it's him looking up against Electro and Rhino and Green Goblin and stuff. The way this looked, I can't express it. It's like someone, like Doctor Strange come along, got a comic book and just went whoosh, and it was on the big screen. The vibrant blue of his costume and the red and the battle scenes from all aspects. Obviously, his suit was a little bit darker in the first one. They got a little bit lighter. The spider symbol itself in this one, everything about it's just... If they are, for me, really good films. I can't find a whole bunch to hate on. A few performance aspects and stuff like that. The fact that we never got to see a Sinister Six team up. I would love to have seen a Doc Ock in this. I would love to have seen some symbiote carnages in this. That would have been fucking... I didn't even mean to use carnage. I meant like symbiote carnages and like battles, but obviously carnage as well. I think they would look great in this. Yeah, these films, although I can understand what some people might have issues with them, and I am looking through biased eyes, I completely get that. But these films are great. I'm going to go back and make sure I watch these two again back to back in a few months' time. They're so fucking much fun. And again, I am not disappointed if we do get Andrew Garfield popping up again in the future at some point. He is great. Yes, I've got Tom Holland now, and if I only get him for the future, I am so happy with that because he is still my favourite. But yeah, Andrew Garfield, well done, son. Well done. I don't think I give you enough of... That was a shit round of applause. I don't think I give you enough credit and stuff like that for these films and your performances in them. And everyone that worked on it. They really were. Really were so much fun. And to be fair, fun is probably the key word. When I watched these films, I had fun. It was web slinging, high octane, fast paced action with a beautiful, well written, slow burn of an undertone, the story, whatever my words are, I'm trying to get out here, underneath. It was so fucking fantastic. And what a way to split the two in half. See the Spider-Man shenanigans and the story, and eventually, obviously, they do all intertwine with Gwen's father, you know, Captain Stacy, and his death, not wanting Gwen to be involved. So they had their own two stories going along, and every now and then they would think, oh, it was amazing. If you haven't seen them in a good while, I recommend you go back and watch and reevaluate. If you still hate them, you still don't like them, that's fair enough. We're not going to agree on all films and performances and whatnot, but definitely go and check them back and check them out. So visuals, that was this week's Superhero Wednesday. It was a nice little happy rant about the Amazing Spider-Man films, but definitely let me know what you think. And visuals, I love the Amazing Spider-Man films. I'm saying it there and then. Visuals, if you did enjoy this video, well, booski, let me know in the comments below anything you want in the future of Superhero Wednesday. Anything, if you want some sort of weird unboxings, more talks about the old films, you can do the X-Men's or the old Blade or whatever the fuck you want. Visuals, more importantly, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me just set my camera up in my room and talk about things I love. If this is the highest we'll ever get in life, I am so happy because it's just amazing. Visuals, you got to do this one with me. I'm not trying to be a rock star here. I was trying to go for the ending. Definitely do this one with me. Visuals, thanks so much for watching. Remember, always keep it you and keep on web slinging on.